most people don't want to have an argument. They don't want to get into a big row or anything, which is, sorry for me, because I like getting into a big row every now and then. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Kansas.
Kansas?
Yes.
And you're still there?
Yes, I live there.
Wonderful.
She needs to come down here.
I know.
Well, everybody has to come down here. It's, we're like the adult Disneyland.
Adult Disneyland.
I call it the home of the alcoholic Peter Pans.
Oh, my goodness.
And are you from Kansas also?
Uh-huh. I'm a transplant. I'm here now.
Yeah. So, did any of you guys watch the State of the Union speech at all?
No.
No.
I normally do.
Yeah.
But
no.
Yeah.
You didn't?
No.
You said, why didn't you watch it? Is it opportunity, or you just don't want to listen to them? Or?
No.
So you don't like.
We have separate political views.
I'm on the far. I'm so far on the right. I almost loop back around.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, then how'd you guys remain friends?
We just don't talk about it.
Yeah, we just don't talk about politics.
I might break it up right here now. This might be the end of this friendship. Kiss this girl goodbye. So what objections do you have to the president?
To the current
Current administration.
I wouldn't say that he's done necessarily things right as much in office as he's done before he got into office.
Give me an example.
You mean like his life has been really shady, but he hasn't done anything really bad so far?
Right. So I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I choose not to pay attention.
I mean, there are things that have improved, I would think. I mean, like the lowest unemployment for Hispanics and blacks ever recorded. A lot of companies moving back, tax breaks that people are getting, so allowing bonuses and people getting raises. Yeah. So, I mean, he has done a lot of things that are helping the people out. Have you noticed that at all? I mean, have you seen that? Could you give him credit for that?
I
haven't seen it, but
about spending money. Yeah.
But like I said,
mostly though, what I
am confident that he knows how to save money and get money.
Yeah, as a businessman.
Yeah, I'm confident in that. My disparity comes with the moral aspects.
What
of
moral
him as
aspects?
An individual.
What? Like, give me an example.
Just like the things that he's said and like the things that he's done.
Give me an example.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Well, if it's obvious, give me an example.
Just like the way he talks about women.
How does he talk about women?
He talks poorly about women. Like, he's talking about like women not being as adequate as men.
He's never said that. As a matter of fact, he's gotten awards from the UN for being putting the most women. He does
have the most women.
And he has the most women in office.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nikki Haley's.
And the people I have talked to personally that have worked for him, I haven't talked to anybody yet that has been in a room with that man and works for him that has anything bad to say about him. They all say he comes out and speaks to us like we're real people.
It might be all a ploy, just the way he says things.
Also,
a lot of what he does is a ploy. To draw out things.
Also, it's that Queens. It's that Queens. There's a whole culture in that part of New York where you're gruff and you're foul.
They say it like it is.
Yeah.
This is this.
Yeah.
I'm from New York, so I know. It's a this is this. This is this, man. They say, this is what you get. This is what it's what you ask for is what you get. But a lot of it, you understand, I think you guys are aware of it enough to know that a lot of what we perceive that
it's
comes...
corporate owned, yes.
Thank you. Comes from this skewed propaganda. Well, you should watch some news.
I should.
But it depends on whom, of course, you're listening to.
Who would you recommend?
Anybody that's not taking commercial money, I would say look at them. If you're on TV, and I don't trust any of them on TV, not Fox, not any of them, because they do pepper it with some truths because you got to.
If you watch all of them and then you take out, you're like, okay, what did they all say? Because everyone puts their spin on it, but you're like, okay, but generally they're all at least talking about this. You're like, I know that much baseline is.
Yeah, but it's
true,
also
but yeah.
there's a ceiling that they never cross, a line they never cross. When they're taking commercial money, like you'll never hear them talk about 9/11 on any of the major news networks. They don't do it. They will never talk about Sandy Hook. They won't talk about Las Vegas. They never cross. They won't talk about the poison vaccines. They won't talk about the
Jeffrey Epstein's island. How like half
Thank
of the
you.
fucking
They won't
people-
talk about the pedophilia that's running rampant through the entire system, and that's how they use that to blackmail not only the politicians but the
Okay,
journalists
so then why
themselves.
isn't he talking about that?
I beg pardon?
So then why isn't he talking
Oh,
about
because
He is,
if you
because
do-
on
if you-
February
if you-
17th, he started the pedophile task force ring, and they busted over 15,000 pedophiles. What was in the Wiener laptop was all the connections to how she was running the pedophile ring out of Haiti.
She was?
Oh yeah, the entire system. It's always been. The elites have been doing this for a long time, but she has perfected the blackmail system in where they would run pedophile rings, put people in compromising positions, have them filmed, photographed, and then you got
They
them.
do it in Hollywood too to make the actors
Yes,
so
it's the same thing. That is what was on Wiener's laptop. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail not to have this memo exposed. Because the memo was the first big domino to fall in the deep state.
Yeah.
Once we find out that the deep state was actually colluding to keep this man out of office, because they knew that he knew. And I remember, he's been busting all the low-level pedophiles, and they've been squeaking. They've been,
working
working way up the food chain. So look what just got exposed with the Vatican. All of this is coming from him.
They already, like 4 or 5 years ago, busted the Tories in labor over in
Thank
Britain.
you.
They, like it's.
Thank you. But exactly, so he has been behind the scenes. In the first year, if you read his book, there's the book he wrote, that the first year you just kind of sit back, observe, and take notes, and the second year you come out and start slicing away. You start cutting out. And I think that's what they've been building up to, and I think that's what the release of this memo is going to expose. But it's also, you can't let it all out at once because the people are not psychologically prepared for this.
No, people call you a kook and a conspiracy theorist and all that stuff.
Here's a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is good for any crime in the world. So I would think that probably one of the best barometers was this State of the Union speech. Because if you listen to what he says, if you watch the whole thing, listen to what he says, and look at the reactions that came from the opposition.
Were said. Yeah.
I mean, to see the opposition just sit there with that skull on their faces and not stand up and applaud things that would be, you would think, when he called for, look, I want to compromise here. Yeah. I'm offering that here's my hand.
No, but see, they're starting to come out in the open and say, like, we don't want. They basically want unlimited illegal immigration.
Of course they do.
Yeah, because they think that it'll be a vote padding.
I definitely don't agree with illegal immigration.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, that's just common sense. To me, you just don't let anybody walk in your house. So you want to make sure who the hell's coming into your country.
Exactly.
So that's just common sense, and that's one of
the. But I don't think a wall is the solution.
Well, it's one of the solutions. It's again, you don't take the doors off your house. You don't do away with the walls. You put the doors on the walls for a reason. It's not going to stop.
Or just also, I think when immigration goes down, when you just when you let them know, like, you can come here if you're ready to work, but you can't just come here and expect things to be given
you're not
to you.
getting good free stuff.
People stop coming. People stop coming when you tell them that the gravy train's over.
Yeah. And they did. The incentive. They got incentives.
Hey man, I want to give you cred because for a long time I just don't talk about politics because I'm so tired of being young people are really not with it right now. They're all like Bernie Sanders. I want the communist state.
No, I'm definitely not there.
I know. Well, a lot of people are moderate.
I'm not really either way. I'm just
you're intelligent.
Not.
I can see why you got her as a friend. I mean, Yeah, you're not. I can,
Yeah, I don't get angered by talking about politics. We just don't talk about it.
Well, it should be. I think now is the time to discuss it because we're going to be going through some really strong changes here. The evisceration of the deep state, the people that have had us by the throat for a long time, they're not going to let go of that power easily. And so we're going to see them fight back in ways that we have to be prepared for. So you got to start paying attention to
I think one of the things that they'll do is they'll start unloading their old dirt, but they'll blame it on the current administration. We'll see a lot of
They can try, but none of it's stuck so far. Everything they've tried has failed.
I thought the Russia thing was really ballsy just because like they were taking money from the Russians the whole time, and you're gonna run around and like
it's exactly the opposite of everything they say that they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole investigation's backfiring on them. You know, it's because it's coming out. She paid for the dossier that was phony, and then they use that to go get the FISA warrant to spy on him. What?
Yeah.
And then you got the FBI going, yeah, we need to have an insurance policy, and talking about killing the president on government phones.
Oh, Lord.
I know. I mean, you got to look at the odds that this man got in because he got the media against him. He had his own party against him. He had Hollywood against him, Silicon Valley against him. He had the Pope against him, right? And then he had the FBI against him, and he still beat the odds. Why? Because the people saw through the bullshit. And they say, well, screw it. Well, we're not having another Clinton in there. And I don't understand the Bernie people that still support Bernie.
I don't either.
They have to get stabbed in the back by Clinton stealing the nomination for him.
Oh, yeah.
He had it. And then he turns around and goes, you gotta go vote for Clinton. What? I don't know.
Well, hey man, you have a good day.
Oh,
Can
thank
I
you.
take your picture?
Oh, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can, darling.
Awesome. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. And what was your name?
Badass Uncle Sam.
Badass Uncle.
It's on the back of my car.
I love it.
Yeah, go
Awesome.
check out my videos. You'll
Okay.
see yourselves on it.
Thank you.